Alright, today I'm going to be reacting to the new Weeknd album that just came out. This is Dawn FM. I'm going to be honest, I'm not like the biggest fan of the Weeknd. I do like After Hours, but I haven't listened to any of his other albums. I've never like loved his music that much. It's just not really my style, but I am kind of excited to go into this album. I believe I heard the single Take My Breath, and it was kind of still that 80s kind of sound. So I'm interested to see if he's going to continue with that sound on this album or if he's going to do something different. The feature list is kind of strange. There was Tyler on here, Lil Wayne, there's Jim Carrey for some reason, which I don't know how he's going to be involved. But yeah, we got Grandpa Weeknd over here with the old man face filter, of course, kind of like a memeable cover, I guess you could say. So yeah, we're going to hop into this. I don't think there's much else to say. I like those choir vocals are dope.
It's time to walk into the light and accept your fate with open
Is that Jim Carrey?
5 Dawn FM.
Jimothy? Is that you? Okay, so obviously with the title Dawn FM, we're kind of going in this, I guess, radio station style. Is that Jim Carrey doing that narration or that voice over? I don't know. It kind of sounded like him. Yeah, it looks like we're probably going to be going in this 80s direction once again, very synth heavy. I did really like the kind of like choir group vocals though. I wasn't expecting that. Very cinematic opening as well. And yeah, not bad. Not bad. Just we got to see how the rest of this album plays out to see how effective that opening is. Crazy synths. Okay, yeah. Looks like we're going in the 80s direction again. That kind of synth pop. I've soaken up the moon, can't sleep. Oh, it's me. Strange vocals. Don't know how to feel about it yet. Sounds like a different person. What the? I'm staring into the abyss. So weird. This auto-tune is weird, man. It's a really boring hook too. Boring track. Auto-tune at the beginning was strange. Did not like how that sounded on the Weeknd's voice. I much prefer his regular singing voice, but even when he goes into his regular voice, the hook is just, it doesn't do much for me. The instrumentation is okay. It's that 80s style again, and I feel like it's kind of overdone at this point. I mean, The Weeknd was kind of really the first person to kind of bring it back and do it well, but like, do we really need another album like this? I don't personally. Like, I feel like it just gets very stale and repetitive and predictable. Time, I'd like to see you try unpacking thoughts through tunnels in your mind. This feels like the music in like a training montage in like a cheesy 80s movie or something. This instrumental is great. I gotta admit. This is definitely better than the last track. Easily. Yeah, best track so far. Easily. Oh, like that. Instrumental is so good. Those breaths. Oh, isn't this Take My Breath? It sounds like Take My Breath. Okay, transition to the next one. Transition was cool, I guess. Definitely my favorite track so far. Instrumentation was great. Holy. The way the synths in there were amazing. Really like the drums. The ending with the breaths and kind of turning that into a beat on its own. Like, yeah, instrumentation was great. I thought his singing was more interesting on that one too. Lyrically, it wasn't that interesting to me. I mean, it's just a lot of The Weeknd's lyrics are very similar throughout a lot of his tracks, so that wasn't the most entertaining part of the track for me. It really just came down to the beat on that one. Yeah, that was the best track so far. That had like the possibility of going into like, because it was super 80s. It had the possibility of like maybe being kind of cringy because it's like almost too 80s, but honestly, I don't think it ever crossed that line, and I think it kind of, I mean, yeah, it was enjoyable. Like I said at one point, it kind of had that like training montage sound in like a cheesy 80s movie kind of sound, I guess. But once again, I never found it cringy or cheesy. I enjoyed it, so yeah, Best track so far for me. And yeah, it looks like we're going into Take My Breath, which is a track I've heard. It's okay. I like it, but I'm probably going to skip it for this reaction because I've already heard it. So take my breath away. Yeah, it's definitely like the radio hit, I feel like. It was a single, of course. It's very catchy. You're gonna have all the white moms singing along to this in the car, listening to the radio, including my mom. So yeah, it's okay. It's not my favorite Weeknd song ever, but it's catchy. Yeah, let's keep going. I like those piano chords. Another great beat, and I like he's like in unison with the beat, kind of. Production is so good. Ooh, great transition once again. That was another great track, probably one of my favorites so far. This album's picking up now after the first two where I thought they were just kind of okay, and the second one I really didn't like. It definitely is picking up now. Beat on that thing was great. It was very similar to a lot of the stuff so far, but I thought it was still hard hitting and produced very well. And yeah, I like that kind of that melody we had going on throughout the or whatever it was. That was a nice track. Not too much else to say about it. These transitions are cool, so let's keep it going. Oh, I'm liking this. I love the arpeggiating synths. That bass line. Ooh. Ooh. This has potential, bro. Who is that? It's kind of like, this instrumentation is like some 70s, some like Silk Sonic stuff, kind of. Oh, we're just gonna let it go. Okay, this is great. It's a switch up from the straight synth pop kind of stuff. Oh, this is so good. The textures. Out of time.
5 Dawn FM.
Okay, so there definitely is like a concept going throughout this. I feel like that I'm not fully catching yet. But that was my favorite track so far in terms of the instrumentation, the singing, everything about it was just groovy, lush. It felt very 70s and felt kind of like that Silk Sonic album that just came out. So yeah, that was a great switch up from the straight synth pop that we've been getting from the Weeknd. And the track before it too, the instrumentation kind of was foreshadowing what was going to come after it, because that instrumentation was also that kind of 70s feel with the groovy bass line and just that kind of sound. I don't know who Quincy is. It would probably be one of my favorites if it was more of a song. I guess it's just kind of more of an interlude. I kind of just want the instrumental with no lyrics or no vocals on top of it. I don't know. Someone's probably gonna make it, but yeah, I'm liking the direction this is going into. And then we had Jim Carrey saying we're going into 3 minutes of some, what do you say, easy, slow, or some slow songs or whatever. I don't know. We'll see. And this has Tyler, so I'm excited to see what Tyler does. It's a very Tyler song. Okay. Some flexing.
Although this love is strong to me, some things can change, go wrong with me. We don't know how it's going to be. This prenup, you gon' sign this prenup.
Okay, that was not one of my favorite tracks. I was kind of disappointed. I thought, I don't know, Tyler's verse was okay. It felt kind of short. It was just all right. It's not really my style, that type of song. A kind of just cheesy love song. Yeah, for what it is, it's all right, I guess. But I probably won't come back to it. Tyler's verse, once again, was okay. It was just, overall, it was just an okay track. Let's keep going. Huh. This one's very cinematic again. Lyrically, this track is just, ugh. Okay, before it transitions, this face is all you need to know about how I feel about that track. It's just, ugh. I don't like the lyrics. Instrumentation's boring. Yeah, that might actually take the cake as my least favorite. That might beat out the second track. Don't like it. Will not come back to it for sure. Yeah, I've never really been a huge fan of what The Weeknd brings lyrically, and that was just kind of a very Weeknd-esque track. Like if you had a dial for The Weeknd, that's just him turned up all the way, I feel like. And I'm just not a big fan of it. It's not my style, it's not my speed. I would never return to that track, so let's keep it going. I will say transitions have been good throughout.
I know that you're hiding something from me that's been close to yours. Is there someone else or not forever?
Writing is so basic. It's so basic. Beat's okay, but it's just very similar to everything else. I feel like I'm being a hater right now, but I'm just not. Like, the past couple tracks I just haven't connected to at all. Like, lyrically, they just do not resonate with me. They're super basic lyrically. And instrumentally, they're just fine. Like, they're produced well. Like, you can tell the people making this album knew what they were doing, but it's like, what is it really bringing to the table that's, like, different? I don't know, man. It's just a lot of the same. One part of me feels like I'm being a hater, but one part of me also feels like it's justified, because I'm just not enjoying it as much as I think I could be. There has been a couple like standout tracks that I'll actually return to, but the majority of it is just mediocre, in my opinion. Let me know if I'm crazy down below. I felt this way about The Weeknd for a while, and I think it's all just coming to the surface now. I also just like, I hate to pause it again, but I feel like I just don't like feel that he actually cares about anything he's singing about. Like, it all just feels like this tool to kind of bring out this aesthetic. Like, does he even... I don't know. It just doesn't feel like there's that much heart put into the artistry and the songwriting. Like, these would be fine as background wallpaper music, some just vibe tracks, but it's like, if I'm coming to music to listen deeply and to feel something, I'm not gonna, at least, I don't know how this album ends, but I'm not gonna put on this record.
Let me be there for your heart. Make it my responsibility.
Like, this is so bad. This is so bad. Oh my, this song is supposed to like focus on his lyricism and what he's singing about, but I just don't feel anything that he's singing about. I don't feel anything with this music. Am I crazy? Am I crazy to say this is not that good? Like, I know people hype up The Weeknd so much, but I just don't understand it. And a lot of it comes down to him as a singer and his vocals and his writing. Like, the production is fine. It sounds good, whatever, but like, oh, it's just so empty and hollow. And Snoozefest, next track. I'm sorry, but I feel like such a hater right now, but even his speaking voice I don't like. There's something about just his presence that I just don't, I don't know, a lot of it just feels so fake to me. And a couple of the tracks earlier, I enjoyed them because at least sonically, like, they were different, and I don't know, man, I'm just having it's been a string of like 5 tracks now that I just can't get into.
Every angel is terrified.
Okay. Hold up.
Intense, graphic, sexy.
You just ruined it.
Euphoric.
What is this? Like, is this supposed to be funny? I feel like that was supposed to be so cheesy that it's kind of like it's supposed to be funny, but I did not find that funny at all. It was just actually cheesy and actually corny. I know I'm gonna get so much hate for this video, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe The Weeknd ends it off with 4 absolute slappers, but I mean, I don't have much hope. It started off fine. Like, other than the second track, it was like, okay, I'll give this a shot, but it's just lost me. The second half has just lost me.
See you drowning in the purple lights. Diamonds shining bright.
If I want to listen to this type of music, I'm just gonna listen to Michael Jackson. Like, does it better, bro? Because it's Michael freaking Jackson. I feel like I've heard this Weeknd song 500 times. That might be the most boring one so far. This album just continues to disappoint me. It's just boring. It's not my style at all. Like right off the bat, this bass line is way more interesting than the past like 6 tracks themselves.
Do yourself a favor and just leave it. I knew that this was too good to
What
be
are these
true.
lyrics?
Can't be your savage, that shit ain't fly, bitch. Can't be your pilot, can't be your
Lil Wayne?
private. Kill him, no hubcap.
That was okay. That track was okay. It's the closest to getting a like in a long time. Lil Wayne's verse, I liked it first, but I think it was just because it was a switch up from the onslaught of just boring Weeknd vocals. Once it was finished, it wasn't the most impressive thing. It was all right. My favorite part of that track was probably the bass line, honestly. It was groovy, nasty, and probably the best thing that has happened to this album in the past, like, 6 tracks. Yeah, that one was okay. I didn't hate it. Don't think I would come back to it. Because lyrically, again, it's very boring. Oh my, bro. These lyrics are so basic and so just repetitive, and I feel like I've heard The Weeknd write these songs 1,000 times. Like, it's not for me, man. It's just not for me.
Remember, I was your hero.
It's crazy. It's crazy how a different instrument just like completely piques my interest. Like, first appearance of an acoustic guitar, I feel like, on this album, and it's a welcome switch up because it's just been synth, and as much as I love synths, you can't just have synths throughout the entire album. I mean, there was those tracks that I said were kind of Silk Sonic-esque, but for the majority, it's been that 80s synth sound. So this acoustic guitar, it's nice. It's nice to hear something different. Oh my gosh. This instrumental is kind of great. Oh my gosh, this is The Weeknd. Yes, this is what I need. The Weeknd, I feel like, just always makes these dark, nighttime-y tracks, and it really does not provoke much of a feeling. But this has like a brighter sound and feeling. It's actually kind of making me feel something. Not as much as not so much his lyrics and his vocals, more the instrumentation, but overall, as a track, it's kind of just provoking more of a feeling within me, you know? That sounded stupid. This is good. Yeah. This is good. Those synth chords are beautiful. This is amazing. That might be my favorite Weeknd song ever. Obviously, I've only listened to it once, but yeah, it just had like a bright feel that I actually connected with, and it made me feel something, and it felt, I don't know, for some reason, it just felt authentic, and the acoustic kind of bits in there were a very welcome sound switch up to my ears, and it still had the synthy kind of stuff in there, but I thought the synth chords were very bright, and joyous, and yeah, I would be interested to see The Weeknd kind of go in a direction more like that. Like, I just feel like a lot of his music is so just drowsy. Is that even a word? I don't know if that's a word, but that's the word that comes to my mind. It's just dark, but it's not even dark in a way that I feel is like authentic. But yeah, that track was great. I will definitely return to that track. That's probably my favorite on the album so far. And yeah, we have one track left here, so let's see how he finishes this off.
You're tuned to Dawn FM, where The Weeknd's so good and he plays all week long. Bang a gong, get it.
Okay. Now, if Jim Carrey wrote this, then that's fine. But if The Weeknd wrote that, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? And even if Jim Carrey did write it, it's kind of weird to include that as something in this album where The Weeknd's so good and you've been playing them all night long. Like, what? What is that? Like I said, it's a bit better if Jim Carrey wrote it, but either way, it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Be with you.
Okay, so the album... Shut up, Frank. Shut up. So yeah, the album starts and ends with Jim Carrey. Definite themes of the afterlife and death in this album. I would have to go through again lyrically, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that because I didn't really like the lyrics for a lot of it, so I feel like I am missing part of the concept, but It's okay. It's just one listen. I'm not gonna freaking understand the entire album on one listen. But overall, there was some tracks that I felt were very boring in that. Some that I definitely didn't like. There were some tracks that I thought were okay. There were some tracks that I loved. So overall, it's very inconsistent for me. I wouldn't say I hated it, but I also wouldn't say I loved it. I just feel very, very indifferent towards it. Very just meh. Yeah, I'm just, The Weeknd he's never really interested me, and he didn't really impress me with this album either. So yeah, I know this video is gonna get some hate because I know people love The Weeknd, but yeah, I'm not vibing with it. It's just not my style. It's not what I would really listen to. There are some tracks here that I feel like I will come back to, but the majority of it, like I said, is pretty boring and pretty stale, and just lyrically, it's like, what? I'm not even someone who like needs lyrics to be the most interesting thing, but when the music is also like very repetitive and sounds the same on every track, it's like, I need something. I need you to give me something to hold on to grasp onto, to keep me interested. And like I said, there were some tracks that did that, like the ones were that more 70s style. Some of even the like 80s synth pop tracks were okay in my opinion and did a good job of like making me feel something, like that second last track especially. But like I said, the majority is pretty boring and kind of a snooze fest. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. This was The Weeknd's Dawn FM. I kind of want to go back and listen to After Hours again because it's been a while. But I think if I go back to that, I will definitely find that I'll enjoy that more than this, honestly. I think The Weeknd just needs to switch it up, honestly. I don't know what he needs to do next, but I don't know. The 80s sound is kind of getting boring for me. Yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Kind of disappointed with this album, but it's whatever. It's all right. Let me know your thoughts on this album down below. Let me know if I'm crazy for not liking this, but it's not my cup of tea, I guess you could say. Leave a like if you want. Subscribe if you want. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.